One, two, three. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Today is April 27th, 2024, covering the week of April 21 through April 27. One of the hardest weeks that I have had to go through. So, for those of you who do not know, my mother did pass away. She passed away this week after having to battle septic shock and other things that have occurred, which I will not be talking about here. But she did get she did go home, so she's no longer on this planet. And now I am here on my own, learning and trying to go forward with everything that I need to do on here. So this right here was the cross that was used at the funeral. It has been blessed. So this is one of the last crosses for my mother, and it's one that's going to be always here, always been in use on there. Now, I was there for the final moments. Just just so you know, I was there. I did get called in early in the morning on Tuesday, which is the day that it occurred. It was it was time. And after her passing, I did have a moment of peace because I was there. I did what I said I was going to do. I was with her as long as I could have been. I gave her every chance, and that allowed me to have at least a decent quiet moment. Now, of course, prior to that, I had been nervous. I had high levels of anxiety, extremely high levels of anxiety, and it comes in waves here and there. Um, what I've noticed is when I notice her presence at home and the things that she should have been doing, would have been doing, that's when I get the saddest, when I stop and think about it. But I have so much things that I have coming up that I must be dealing with that it kind of allows me to push it back, which it's not really a good coping mechanism for things. And as you can see, I've been running a marathon of this emotionally, so I am looking tired. Even with this camera here. Let me see. Here. Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, and so immediately afterwards, I definitely did not want to be home alone. I went to stay with some distant family and spent a little bit of time there. Immediately afterwards, I had to rush back to my hometown to do the funeral arrangements because she passed away in another town, not the town that she was living in or where I am from. So there was that. Then, of course, I come home to the reality of all the mess that I had made, all the everything I had done, been running back and forth and not really caring about the home situation. Having to look at that and start to restart that. There have been moments where I've been overwhelmed and anxiety and panic does set in, which is something that it comes and goes in waves. It's a roller coaster going back and forth. It has also been an adjustment because after several years of waiting and trying to be there for her as the only child, and for her having been widowed, then the situation was always a little bit This was always to be expected, but it's also something that I never thought I never thought I'd actually be here at this situation. So that's where I am, trying to figure this out. Now, I also have there's a little built-in break on here because the paperwork procedures take a few weeks, so I have some time to try to return to the real world. My cousin came in for the funeral, and we were there, and of course he has to go back to work as well, so things are going the way they are. Yeah, it's trying to find the balance, trying to find what's going on there, and trying to avoid the vultures. So there are supposed family members that at least they call themselves family members, or from the extended portion of things, and let's just say that all they're concerned about is trying to get money out of the situation. They actually, one of them made a comment during the while she was going through the death process, and I nearly cussed this person out. I nearly did. If it wasn't for the setting I was in, I would have gone off on them. And then afterwards, immediately after, of course, they always bring it up. Well, what are you gonna do with the property? What are your plans? And it's like, really? Now is the time you do that? You vulture. Get away from me. And then today called. I had witnesses on this one. They called, and you know, person's trying to weasel their way in to say, "Oh, I will do you a favor, and I will take all the stuff out of your house for you." I'm like, really? No, no, vulture, go away. So now that I have to go for work, I am, you know, trying to eyeball them. I need to make arrangements, make sure that the house is looked after, my pets are looked after, that my mom's dogs are now my dogs. And since they're older dogs, they're already used to where they're at. I am currently not planning to rehome them unless my situation here where they're at becomes untenable. I have to either rent this place or I decide to rent this place out, and there's nothing else I can do on there. There's another property that I have to deal with, and then there's other stuff that's going to go down as well, paperwork as well, and stuff I need to do at work too because I need to update that as well. So yeah, things are. There's going to be a lot of changes coming forward. There's vultures. So that's one of the things I want to tell you is some of the people who are going to come around you. If you are going to be getting ready for this or going through this, you're going to find out those vultures are going to start circling. They're going to start trying to talk smack. They're going to try to talk you out and say that your situation is untenable. Whether or not it's true or not, you have to decide that. You have to plan that. That's not something for other people to make the call. You can listen, you can ask for advice from anyone, but at the end of the day, do not do that because these vultures, unfortunately, I'm dealing with people who call themselves my family, are trying to be vultures and trying to take advantage of the situation. You know, the body wasn't even warm, and they were trying to take advantage of the situation. So beware of the vultures. Don't listen to the vultures. Make sure you have a good friend network, family network that's spread out in multiple places. Make sure it's not just one family branch or one tree if possible. And always remember, if you can't trust your family, go to your friends. Go to people who are more knowledgeable elsewhere because yeah, you'll run into that kind of people unfortunately. And you know, it's a level of stress. It takes away from the grieving process because now I'm mad and fired up against them. I am mad and fired up. So beware of that. Okay, everyone. So not exactly what I expected to be talking about this way, but that's the realities of dealing with some vulture types. So anyway, if you had some similar experience, let me know. Let me know how you dealt with them. Let me know how you cut them off. Let me know any repercussions. And as always, I will pray for all of you out there, and I ask that you all pray for me for my family, for my parents who are now deceased, and we will go forward. So, have a good evening, everyone. Again, have a good night, and thank you for listening for this.